Check 1, 2. Ladies and gentlemen, we are doing an audio stream test. Check 1, 2.
Good afternoon, everybody. Is that a little loud? I've been asked to kick this off, so hopefully we can get settled, and I will do my welcome. Father Walker will do the blessing, and then we'll get right into dinner and the ceremony. So thank you all for being here, and good afternoon. My name's Dan Gilhenny, class of 1980. I welcome you here. I welcome this year's Hall of Fame inductees. I welcome the Hall of Fame members, family, friends, and alumni. It's great to have you all here. A great turnout. It's been a busy weekend for our alumni. This is a big weekend for us. Starts with an open house that we had yesterday, rolls in today's event, the Hall of Fame ceremony, and then tomorrow, the golf tournament. So yesterday we had a little open house at the school. Some of the inductees came by, their family, some friends, some fellow alumni. They were given tours of the school by current students. I think they really appreciated that. Not much has changed at the school, but I think everyone appreciated walking around, hanging out in the gym, hanging out in the cafeteria, and just catching up with colleagues. Then last night, we were lucky enough to be invited to the class of 83 40th reunion down at Coleman's, very well attended. And I know there were some other gatherings last night as well, with so many people being in town. But it was a great lead off to this weekend. Today, I think there's over 280 people here. It's our largest event ever. So it's continually grown. We've been doing this for 3 years, and it looks like we may have to get a bigger room next year. So we wrap up tomorrow. Our alumni weekend, our long alumni weekend, gets wrapped up tomorrow. We have our Ludden golf event at Tuscarora. It's sold out, so we'll have over 144 people. I won't say 144 players because I'm not sure there are, but we'll have 144 people playing at Tuscarora tomorrow. Certainly, this weekend can't happen without all of you, and we appreciate you being here. We appreciate you supporting the school, supporting the Hall of Fame inductees, your fellow alumni, and of course the kids in our school. An event like this, 280 people, it takes many months to plan. So there are quite a few volunteers, quite a few people behind the scenes that pull this together. If I start naming a few, I'd miss many, so I won't go down that path. But one person I am going to mention is Duke Whalen. So we'll probably be mentioning Duke's name until this thing is run its course, but it never will. But Duke really wanted this to happen. So 3 years ago, he put a bunch of volunteers together to get this going. Without Duke's hard work and dedication, this wouldn't be a success. Duke is unable to be here today because he's recovering from some surgery, but I think the event's being live streamed. So let's have a big round of applause for Duke. So that's my welcome to the group. Enjoy dinner, enjoy the rest of the day, And those that'll be around tomorrow, I hope we have a great day tomorrow. I'm not even looking at the weather, but it's not going to matter. We'll have fun anyways. And I'm going to hand this off to Father Dennis Walker, class of 2006, to bless our group and bless our food. So, Father Dennis.
Before I begin, today I was in the sacristy before Mass, and we have what's called necrology, and that's the list of priests who have passed away, and it goes back about to the beginning of our diocese. And today I noticed that coincidentally it is the Bishop Patrick Ludden passed away in 1912 on this day. So this kind of just an interesting thing to remember today. We pray for the repose of his soul. So we, it's coincidental that he's passing on to eternal life this day, 111 years ago. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, we praise and thank you for the gift of your Son, Jesus, through whom we have been raised to new life. We give you thanks for the gift of our Catholic faith and our Catholic education, as well as our community here at Bishop Ludden. As we celebrate tonight to come together in honor with our honorees, please bless them and help us to remember that you are the source of all that is good. Please bless our food, bless us, and bless our time together. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Either earn the IB diploma or take IB courses. It is a fabulous advantage that most college students in the United States don't have, and it will continue to set them apart from their peers and be productive members of the community for their entire lives. What our students are getting here in their last 2 years is a rigorous first year of college. And it's a more rigorous first year of college than most colleges and universities in the United States, which is really the gold standard for higher education still offer. It also forces students to work out of their comfort zones. And so a really good athlete might be encouraged to participate in drama or taking a painting or sculpture class and find talents that she didn't know existed or he did not know existed, or at least to have tried. And that is really important because quite frankly, 17, 18, 19-year-olds, even 25-year-olds don't know what life holds for them. And to be a careerist at age 17 and know you're going to be a lawyer or an accountant or a doctor and not have the wisdom to try some other things when you're still young, I think is a real failure. And Bishop Ludden's curriculum before the IB program came was quite good. What this does is it really builds on a strong curriculum and offers students the opportunity of a really rigorous first year of college. The grading is conducted worldwide so that your knowledge of calculus in the United States is compared against a child's knowledge of calculus in South Africa or India or Pakistan. And it has to meet a certain standard. And that's really important. This is not a situation where everyone is special and everyone earns an A.
Excuse me? Hi, I'm Kathy Gilhoney. I'm the Director of Development, and we would like you to we have a 4-minute commercial that we'd like you all to watch, so you can see what is happening at Bishop Ludden. We have a lot of exciting things, especially that we are an IB World School. Thank you.
What the advantages are for students who either earn the IB diploma or take IB courses. It is a fabulous advantage that most college students in the United States don't have, and it will continue to set them apart from their peers and be productive members of the community for their entire lives. What our students are getting here in their last 2 years is a rigorous first year of college. And it's a more rigorous first year of college than most colleges and universities in the United States, which is really the gold standard for higher education still offer. It also forces students to work out of their comfort zones. And so a really good athlete might be encouraged to participate in drama or taking a painting or sculpture class and find talents that she didn't know existed or he did not know existed, or at least to have tried. And that is really important because quite frankly, 17, 18, 19-year-olds, even 25-year-olds don't know what life holds for them. And to be a careerist at age 17 and know you're going to be a lawyer or an accountant or a doctor and not have the wisdom to try some other things when you're still young, I think is a real failure. And Bishop Ludden's curriculum before the IB program came was quite good. What this does is it really builds on a strong curriculum and opportunity of a really rigorous first year of college. The grading is conducted worldwide so that your knowledge of calculus in the United States is compared against a child's knowledge of calculus in South Africa or India or Pakistan. And it has to meet a certain standard. And that's really important. This is not a situation where everyone is special and everyone earns an A. The program is designed for success. One of the gifts of the program is that when they graduate from the program, they will know how to learn and know how to research and know how to challenge ideas and to reflect and to organize their thoughts. Developing their mind as juniors and seniors in high school. And in order to do well in the program, they have to do well 7th through 10th grades here. They have to really work hard. And why is this important? It's important because if they're researching something, they're just not going to Google it and see 15 articles that they don't understand. They're actually going to do some deep thinking and deep reading and sort things through and analyze them and challenge a lot of the things that they're reading. There are a number of colleges and universities that will, if you have a certain cut score, or merely just getting the diploma, and I'm saying just getting the diploma, that's a real achievement itself, they will waive the first year. Studies have shown that IB diploma students are going to do very well at their colleges and universities.
Bishop Ludden is one of only 2 schools in the area to offer the prestigious International Baccalaureate program.
What our students are getting here in their last 2 years is a rigorous first year of college.
Through the IB program, I was able to receive the highest merit scholarship that my school had to offer.
You're looked at as a higher level student with the IB diploma program.
They definitely prepare you for the real world.
The experience that you get from it is truly invaluable. To find out more or to apply, visit bishopludden.org.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. All right, everybody, quiet down or detention this afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Michael McAuliffe, and I am blessed to be the principal at Bishop Ludden Junior Senior High School. If you look at your program schedule, you'll see Dan Gilhenny, class of '80, Chair Board of Trustees. Father Dennis Walker, class of 2006. Gallagher Driscoll, class of '88, athletic director. Brent Axe, class of '96, master of ceremonies. Do you notice a pattern? All alumni until you come to Michael McAuliffe, principal. Pattern broken. Outsider, miscreant, evil stepchild, CBA plant. I prefer to think of myself as adoptee because you see in 2021, Bishop Ludden offered me the position of principal, in effect adopting me and opening your hearts and treating me as one of the Bishop Ludden family, and I could not be more grateful. Before I introduce our MC for today's program, there is one person that deserves recognition for this event. And I know that Dan wouldn't have done this, but Kathy Gilhenny, our Director of Development, has been the person behind this event all year long, constantly working tirelessly and effortlessly for this afternoon's program. Please recognize Kathy Gilhenny. And now I am honored to turn the program over to two real alumni, Athletic Director Gallagher Driscoll and Master of Ceremonies Brent Axe.
Good afternoon and welcome, family, friends, alums, and of course the Hall of Fame inductees. Every one of you here have helped shape Bishop Ludden. Bishop Ludden is a special place because of you and many others, so thank you. We hope you cherish the special times today with your family, friends, coaches, and teammates. Go Bishop Ludden. So thank you. There are a couple presentations that we'd like to make before we get into the induction ceremony. Our first presentation this year, it will be given to a student who just graduated. It's called the Bishop Ludden Scholar Athlete Award. Okay, this student athlete, we often talk to our kids at school, and I talk to my team. We always talk about clapping loudly for others until it's your turn. And this student athlete certainly has. And I think this is great for this person today to be in front of all of you to bridge the gap between alums and current and students that just graduated from Bishop Ludden. This student, this award is given for excellence in academics and athletics. This recipient of this year's award is a true definition of the ultimate student athlete. Often, parents, teachers, and coaches always preach academics before athletics. This student athlete has certainly proven academics and athletics can go hand in hand. This is evident by being the Bishop Ludden class valedictorian of 23. Her four-year weighted GPA was 101.22. Nine included in a course load was 5 years of French and 2 years of the World IB program. While excelling in the classroom, this student athlete also excelled on the athletic fields. 4 years of varsity soccer. The last two, she was one of the top defensive players and leaders on the team. Our girls' soccer record the last 2 years has been 28-6, 2 league championships. She was named second team all-league. The student athlete also participated in indoor track this year, where she was first team all-league with her teammates in the 4x200 relay. In the spring, she was also named first team all-league for outdoor track. I know what this student has meant to Bishop Ludden. She is what Bishop Ludden should be all about. Selfless, humble, caring, giving, and grateful. It was never about her. It was always about us and we. I would like to present this year's Scholar Athlete Award to Claire Ruddy. Claire will be attending Colgate this fall. Obviously, thanks to her parents, you raised a wonderful child, and Claire has certainly made Bishop Ludden a better place. So congratulations, Claire. The Monsignor Taylor Award is given to somebody with outstanding contributions to sports nationally, locally, or specifically to Bishop Ludden. This person that's going to receive this award shortly has been on me. It was on me for about 10 years about getting the Hall of Fame together. And he's not an alum, but he's passionate, and he's on our coaching staff here. And we finally got around to it where Duke Whalen saw a vision and took the Hall of Fame and ran with it. This recipient of this award is a very humble, giving, selfless, and caring guy. He goes above and beyond for our student athletes as our golf coach. There's not a day or a week goes by at school where I don't see a package in my office where there's a golf club or extra golf balls for one of his players. He treats his number one players, the number one person, and he treats the number 14 or 15 person on the roster the same way. I don't think he's ever cut a kid. He tries to keep them involved in the game of golf. The last 2 years, all right, we've been league champions in golf, and last year we were Section 3 small school champions as well. So it's I'm pleased to announce this recipient, Bill Kilmartin, as our Monsignor Taylor Award winner. I don't want to say too much about Billy because Billy likes to fly on the radar, and I didn't want to tell him he was getting an award because he wouldn't come. He would have been here to set up like he usually does, and then he would have left. So he's very deserving of this, and we're lucky to have him on our side at Bishop Ludden. He continues to help with the Hall of Fame and the golf tournament, And even though if it's not golf season, he's at all our events, athletic events, and other things we have going on. So he definitely deserves this. Congratulations, Billy. Thanks for all you do. I'm going to turn this over to Brent Axe now, the best guy in town, the ultimate pro. So we're going to hopefully move this along. I know people have other things they'd like to get to. So thank you for your patience. And again, congratulations, inductees. Enjoy.
Thanks a lot, Gallagher. We're going to move this along, huh? Okay. My hour-and-a-half presentation on the history of Bishop Ludden Athletics. Let's just scratch that one. Okay, we'll keep it going. This is incredible to be here again and to see the growth of this event, to see the Hall of Famers that need to be honored and are being honored. But folks, as I've had conversations with you before this has started, there is a backlog of athletes yet to be honored in this event. That's the deep and rich history of Bishop Ludden Athletics. We have only scratched the surface. So I would love to once again give a shout out to Duke, to Kathy, to Gallagher, the committee, for the hard work that they put into this. And this event is only going to get bigger and better as the years go along. So thank you for your work. Duke, we miss you. Hope he's recovering well, as we said earlier. And thank you to Principal McCullough for your great comments earlier. We sure that guy's not a CBA plant, though? Can we check that out? Somebody get a security check on that guy. I'm kidding. We love your principal. But what he said really rings true. The Bishop Ludden alums that if this event or whatever it is that are coming back and helping and being a part of this, it's a thrill to do this once again. And Gallagher said we got to move it along. So as the great artist Pink, who I actually saw last night in Pittsburgh with my wife, said, let's get this party started, right? So just a reminder for our inductees, when you come up, you step right over here. We're going to take a picture. We're going to set up a video for you as well. So if you did write a speech, I'd be happy to stay afterwards and listen to it. But there are no speeches, just so you know, because the great video that we had produced, yes, we got a round of applause up here for that. The great video, though, we have for you, you're really going to enjoy that. So here we go with our first Hall of Famer for the class of 2023. This man played in the inaugural game in the Bishop Ludden gym. He hit a half-court shot on that day to beat CBA. By the way, the date of that game, November 22nd, 1963. Significant event in history that day. First team All-City, a captain, a leading scorer and rebounder, spent 4 years at Loyola in Montreal, where he's a 3-year team captain and a member of their Hall of Fame. Now he's a member of our Hall of Fame from the class of 1967, John McCullough.
My name is John McCullough. I was in the first freshman class at Bishop Ludden in September of 1963. You know, Ludden, when it first opened up, it was freshmen and sophomores. And so I was a freshman. I tried out. I didn't make the varsity. I was disappointed, but nevertheless, I was on the JV team. And so the first game ever played at Ludden was the JV game against CBA. And we beat them 50-48 in overtime. So our first 3 years, we played an independent schedule. So we primarily traveled, you know, throughout the state. I think we went to Rochester, Oswego, Ogdensburg, Messina, basically playing the Catholic schools. we couldn't get into the City League. The City League was the main league in those days, and there was some apprehension about allowing Ludden into the league. You know, private school, semi-private school versus public school. So it took that 3-year period to have Ludden get finally accepted. You know, you got 12 guys working for a goal, a common goal, and how you work with those 12 guys and interact with them. You know, your team is really part of your family. So I had Terry Quigley as a coach, and he was great. You know, I was very thankful I went to Ludden and had him as a coach, and he was always on me to work a little bit harder. And at that time, I was really, you know, really didn't like him. But after it ended, you know, I really looked back and was thankful for all things that he did for me. But we had 300 kids, 300 students in our class, you know, and so after 4 years, there was 1,200 students at Ludden. So you got to meet a lot of different people. I think the friendships established, to me, was very important. At 74 years old, to get an award for athletics feels pretty good. To be focused, and I think the important thing is, you know, don't get too caught up on yourself too. You know, that, you know, if you get in athletics, you do pretty good, and you think you're pretty good. And, you know, that only lasts a while. You know, yeah, I mean, that's going to come and that's going to go, and you're going to be back in the pack again at some time. So, you know, don't think that athletics is the end and be all of everything, that there's other opportunities out there that you got to take advantage of. And I think the other thing is surround yourself with really good people who are going to challenge you, people who are going to tell you that if you do something wrong, you give back to your community. You know, lots been given to you, give back. And, you know, you'll be much happier about yourself when you do those things.
I'll tell you what, all the other families here, you've got a lot to live up to with that cheering section, and we just had right up here. Our next inductee was a first-team defensive back and offensive end. 1974 and 75 Class B champion. Several Athlete of the Week awards. I'll just name TV5 and the Herald Journal. The Congressional Medal of Merit, proud Lemoyne alum. From the class of 1975, ladies and gentlemen, Matt Waddick.
My name is Matt Waddick. I went to Bishop Ludden from 1971 to 75. And I played football and basketball. My junior year, we were 21-2. We won the city's league championship. We beat CBA for the championship up at Lemoyne. We also won the Class B championship. And then my senior year, we finished 15-7. We started 0-5, and we turned it around, and we won the Class B championship that year. We had great chemistry, and everybody knew their role on the team. We had great coaches. Jerry Wilcox was the varsity basketball coach at that time. Did a great job of bringing people together. So my favorite memory is anytime we beat CBA. That was one thing. But I think, you know, my fondest memory was the 1975 Class B championship at the War Memorial. We were playing Holland Patton, and we were heavy underdogs. And I think they brought the whole town down because they filled half the War Memorial. So we started out the game down 6-0. Coach Wilcox called a timeout. I don't know what he said, but he said something, and then we went out. We ended up winning by over 40 points. It was just a tremendous team effort. The biggest thing is to enjoy your time there and work hard. It's a great opportunity to develop as an athlete and also to become a responsible adult. I think that's the biggest advice I can give somebody going to school there now. It's a tremendous honor. I think that being inducted with a lot of my teammates, a lot of other athletes is just a large honor, and I'm thankful for it. And I appreciate all the coaches and all my teammates that helped me get to this point. Randy Zer, my JV football coach, he signed my yearbook and he said, "Enjoyment and perfection make a great athlete." And I think you can take that statement and apply it to a lot of choices in life. Enjoy what you do, work hard at it, learn from other people's experiences and advice, and be the best you can at that.
Congrats again, Matt. Our next inductee really liked to run the show. A 4-year varsity letterman at basketball and baseball, spending 3 years as the starting point guard. Among the all-time assist leaders in Bishop Ludden history. The first team CNYCL catcher as well, with a .333 career batting average. From the class of 1975, Bob Irving.
My name is Bob Irving. I'm a proud member of the class of 1975 at Bishop Ludden. So 75, my senior year, we had lost the nucleus of our championship team. Expectations going in, certainly not as high. We lost our first 5 games of my senior year. Not a good start. But we went on to win 10 of our next 11 games to really turn things around. And maybe the 75 season might have been a little more gratifying than the championship in an odd sort of way. I think what we did as a team showed great resilience. We talk about resilience and the ability to bounce back. Everybody was accountable, accepted their role, owned it. Basketball was certainly big at Ludden. I remember the gym was full to the brim. Cheerleaders were going crazy. It was really a big event. Anybody who played basketball certainly felt that history and felt the pressure of trying to compete to play at Bishop Ludden. Even being mentioned alongside a lot of the greats that have come out of Bishop Ludden, that's an honor. Did that result in all city basketball or all state or college scholarships? No, but it was a stepping stone, and to put it in that perspective, it's certainly an honor to be mentioned alongside all the greats. Try to step out of your comfort zone. Everybody's going to fail. The most successful people in the world are the ones who have failed the most, and it's really how you bounce back. Success starts with failure.
Congrats again, Bob. Our next inductee was a three-sport varsity athlete at Bishop Ludden in track, field hockey, and gymnastics. Won the Principal's Trophy for Outstanding Female Athlete twice. The Bishop Foley Award, qualified for New York State's first gymnastics championship in a 1974 CNYCL track and field meet champion. From the class of 1975, Kathy Kulik.
When I came to Ludden, they had a lot to offer in sports, but also Title IX was just signed into law at the beginning of my sophomore year. So it opened up a lot of opportunities for female athletes, and there were a lot of firsts. So my junior year in gymnastics, Ludden hosted the first end of the season Cities League meet, and 5 other schools competed with us. And my friends and family were able to come to this meet, and I placed first in vaulting. And it just was memorable because I was able to share the experience with them. And also that year, our track and field team placed first in the City League. We worked hard as a team in the field events and the running events. Our relay team was unbeatable. And to be awarded the trophy at the end of the season, it just made it all worthwhile. I never would have become the athlete I did without, first of all, Bishop Ludden. And the coaches of the other teams here, they were always encouraging. The teachers were always encouraging. Most of them came to the meets and the track meets. And it was like a family, and it just made it enjoyable to do. The best choice I ever made was coming to Bishop Ludden in the first place and trying out for the teams, trying out for field hockey, trying out for gymnastics and track and field. I had no sports background. I didn't know how to do anything really, and I tried out and I was able to learn things and do things and actually succeed. In gymnastics, when you do learn a new move, you fall a lot. But when you do it in a meet and you fall, you have to get up, get back on, and finish your routine. So it teaches you to be humble, and I think, sports mirror life, and there's bumps in the road, and you may fall, you get up, and you carry on, and that's the most important thing. One of my favorite quotes is by Peggy Fleming, the figure skater who won a gold medal in the Olympics. She said, "The ultimate goal should be doing your best and enjoying it." And that's true in sports and also in everyday life.
As Kathy noted, a true historic time in sports, and we're also on quite a run in the mid-1970s here. Is that when they started putting fluoride in the water? Like the athletes from this era is incredible, but it's like I said at the beginning, the depth in which the committee has to choose from is incredible, and you're seeing it now. Including our next inductee, who a co-captain and 2-time MVP of the boys basketball team, a 2-time first-team All-CNY player on that team, the 1976 CNYCL League scoring champion, played his college ball at Wichita State, and I heard has his 35th birthday today as well. From the class of 1976, ladies and gentlemen, John Kobar.
My name is John Kobar. I played basketball for Bishop Ludden High School from 1972 to 1976. My brother and I, when we were little, he would always take me out. We'd play football in the yard. We'd play baseball down the park. We'd go shoot hoops at my neighbor's backyard. I think basketball just kind of stuck with me. I just enjoyed it and loved playing the game. And obviously being able to go to a school like Ludden and have a chance to succeed was just a great opportunity for me. When I first got there, playing freshman ball and JV ball, of course, Mark Waddick, knowing he played for Syracuse and was going to be my JV coach at the time. And he was able to guide me along the way through JV season, and then obviously being able to play for Coach Wilcox. He wasn't the easiest guy to play for at times. I mean, he demanded a lot from you. Could get hard on you, but that was what led to, I think, my and also our team's success during my years. Well, when I went there, obviously we played in the Cities League, which was very competitive. I mean, we played against some of the great high school players, great teams during those years, and I think it attracted a lot of the younger players that wanted to go play against the best players during that time frame. And I think Ludden was definitely one of the schools to go to as far as being able to compete and strive for goals against some of the great players that time. If it weren't for obviously my mom and dad, my brother, getting me to practices and the games when I was younger, letting me watch all those NBA games on TV when back then we had one TV. You couldn't go to another room and watch another TV somewhere. It's just a great honor. I just, hard to believe that people would think of me for that high of an honor. I'm just very, very proud to be in the Bishop Ludden Hall of Fame. Teamwork. You're playing with other players. A lot of other people rely on you when you're on the court, just like they do in life. I mean, everybody relies on you. Whether it's your job, your life, your family, and I think that started with either grade school and going on obviously to high school. Playing a sport gives you that responsibility that there's other people that rely on you, and I just think that's how life is. Everybody relies on people to survive in this world to a certain extent.
Congrats again, John, and happy birthday, by the way. And we've seen a couple times in these videos already, we'll probably see it a few more times. My coach was hard on me at the time, but then you appreciated it later. I'm currently teaching my daughter how to drive, so I'm kind of hoping that same thing comes back someday. But I did want to say this. I know we've got some coaches in the room. Let's give a big shout out and appreciation to our coaches at Bishop Ludden, our head coaches, our assistant coaches, our volunteer coaches. They give up their time. Let's be honest, it's a tough job these days to be a coach in high school sports, and you have my immense respect. And I didn't even make you stand up, but we do want to give you a nice round of applause. So thank you for what you do. Our next inductee played football, wrestling, and lacrosse at Bishop Ludden, CNY All-Star Team, New York State All-Star Team, both the Bishop Cunningham and Harrison Award, earned a scholarship to Penn State, later became a football official at many levels, including the high school and college level. From the class of 1976, ladies and gentlemen, Gary Tack.
There were so many great moments when I played sports here, through all of them. I got to say that the most memorable was when I got recruited to play college ball, and Joe Paterno was here as far as a result of football. And then he came to my house for dinner. So that was pretty notable from everybody, and I got a lot of grief for it. For a lot of the SU guys were giving me a hard time, but yeah, that was a great accomplishment. That was a great time in my career. When I made the decision to go to Penn State, there was a Sports Illustrated article that included me and published it, so it was all a result of my accomplishments at Ludden and everything. So yeah, that would probably be my most memorable. I learned, commitment, teamwork. Did I say discipline? That was all parts of things I learned at Ludden. I mean, teamwork was the big thing. You had to, through sports, be disciplined and have a great attitude, and that's what came out of this. Things I learned from sports and from my coaches, I've carried on to this day about things I've learned in high school. Be committed. Realize that it's a privilege to play and not your right to be on the team. Be dedicated, be committed, work hard, try to get better every day. And remember that you're one of many people that want to be on the team that you have this opportunity for. Ludden taught me a lot of things that I use throughout the rest of my life.
Gary said it, going to Penn State at a time when Syracuse and Penn State did not get along. It's kind of like being a Red Sox fan here in Yankee territory. Where's my guy, Jim? Where's my Red Sox fan out there? We were talking earlier. Chaim Bloom, he's just not handling the trade deadline well, but we'll talk about that later. Our next inductee played lacrosse and football at Bishop Ludden. Two-time All-Cities, a USILA All-American, set the school record for points with 136. An All-American, an athlete of the decade at Kutztown State, later became a longtime official at the NCAA level, the high school level as well. From the class of 1976, we're still in the mid-1970s, folks, Jim Diamond.
My senior year, we played in the Section 3 finals against West Tennessee. And the other one that I have is our arch rival, Watertown, Cities League, up in the North Country. We played them at their home field. We beat them that day 16-1, and they scored a goal in the last minute of the game. We almost shut them out. The lessons that I learned at Ludden, that you meet many coaches, the coaches aren't there to hinder you at all. They're there to help you, to nurture you, to make you better at what you do, and to go on in life. Chris Canelli, my lacrosse coach, he taught us that hard work can be fun, we can achieve our goals, and to be humble at the same time. And he was the individual that constantly taught us about there is no I in team. Don't put off till tomorrow what you can do today. Always challenge yourself. If you go to class, if you pay attention, if you do your work, you will be rewarded with opportunities down the road. I would have to say I took it. It was from Dave Didio in 1973. It was a poem he gave the football team at the time. If you think you're beaten, you are. If you dare not, you won't. Very simple.
Jim's video, just another example as we go through the years here of Hall of Famers talking about other Hall of Famers, as you'll see a little bit later. Our next inductee, CNYCL basketball and softball champion at Ludden, won the Bishop Harrison Trophy, went on to play at Niagara with an overall record of 84-19. Not bad. A coach, a DC team champion with an undefeated record at Tantalon Country Club, hope I pronounced that correctly, and not to mention a 22-year career at Landstar, where she became one of the first female agents to go over $1 million in sales. From the class of 1976, Mary Kate Flaherty.
Well, I would say absolutely bar none would be the final game of our 74-75 season, which was the finals for the Section 3 championship. I believe it was at West Hill, and it was against Skinny Atlas. And while we had had an unbelievable undefeated season to that point, we had won a ton of games by double digits. This, however, was absolutely not that kind of game. And through hard work and not getting beat by their press, and we prevailed 48-44, and that by far was my most memorable moment in Bishop Ludden sports. I think I got a lot of my confidence, above all, in leadership skills while I was here at Ludden. You have a sense of duty and pride when you wear the Ludden green. Don't get caught up in yourself. Don't get caught up in what people say about you, whether it's really positive or really even negative. Work hard and improve yourself even when you're alone to stay focused, stay in the moment.
Thank you, Mary Kay. Some wise words there at the end for sure. Our next induct, we're still in the 1970s. That's how rich and deep the athletes were at this school then. Track and field, basketball, football, a Section 3 there's going to be a theme here, so follow along here, guys. Section 3 champion in the 400 meters, New York State champion relay team, the Bishop Ludden High School record in the 400 meters, CNYCL two-time champion in the 400 meter, first team wide receiver and running back, Ithaca College's leading rusher in 1979, the Empire 8 and EAC champion. We're going back to what in 400 meters. He ruled it, folks, from the class of 1978, Kevin Didio.
It was a track and field Section 3 final event. The trials were in the morning and the finals were in the afternoon. And I was running in the 400 meters. And fortunately, in the qualifying trials in the morning, I was able to secure the middle lane. I was going up against several of the rivals that I had during the year. And one of the individuals, Don Brosh from Liverpool, had actually edged me out in 2 invitationals during the course of that year, and it was by inches in both of them. During the finals, race went really well. The first 200 meters were clocked at, I believe it was 24 seconds. It sticks in my mind. And I was feeling really good. Coming around the last turn, we were all pretty much equal. And there my father was on the final turn, who was my coach in track and field for the 4 years that I ran. And I could hear him yelling at me, you have it, this is yours, go get it. And it just kind of, tingles went down my body, and I just felt this is my race to win. And at the end of the race, I nosed Don Brosh out by about, I think it was 0.2 of a second. Came through the finish line, and there was my Uncle Frank, who was a Section 3 official. And I literally fell over, and he grabbed me up and held me from falling on the ground. And it was one of the fastest 400-meter races during that year in the entire section. And what stood out to me at that point was, even though Don had beaten me twice during the year in the invitationals, he came up to me afterwards and he said to me, I wish you the best of luck in the state meet. And talk about true sportsmanship, that truly was. Why did we come here? Because it was the right place to be. Our Catholic faith was strong. Our dad was here, yeah, that was important, but this was the right place. There's no question about it. There's a lot of life lessons that come out of this school. You know, in terms of sportsmanship, all the terms that we think about, commitment, dedication, just the student athletes that are here, they're all good people, all strong in their faith in God, and really want the best for people. The faculty, they were so good to me when I was here for my 4 years, and you know, my entire family has come through Bishop Ludden. My dad, teacher, coach, my brothers and sisters have all come through this school. They've laid the groundwork for all of us to be successful, not only in life, but in our faith too. And our faith is extremely important. This being a Catholic institution, it has stuck with all of us for a long time.
Our next inductee scored 8 touchdowns in a single game. He had 3 interceptions in a single game. I don't know if it was the same game, but if it was, somebody should write a story about that. I'll make a note of that for later. All CNY for football and baseball. Oh, by the way, one season in baseball, he batted .514. Not too shabby, right? Mansfield University, first team All-American, and selected to try out for the Pan American U.S. Olympic team. From the class, we're in the 80s now, from the class of 1982, Tom Royal.
One of the most memorable moments I'll never forget, I had just returned to the field from an injury, a concussion the week before when we played CBA, which is by far the biggest game. It's a huge rivalry. And I remember the week leading up to it, there was a lot of animosity to the fact where they actually hung a dummy of me on our pole in front of the school. So there was a lot going on. So during the warm-ups, they were chanting my name like they were gonna light me up, and I'll never forget it. First play from scrimmage, I go 80 for a touchdown. So it was funny. It was almost like it motivated me because some of the stuff they were saying was pretty derogatory. So I use that as fuel and energy. And first play from scrimmage, it was probably the most fun game we played. It was homecoming weekend. There was a lot going on. So I remember that. I think based on the people around me, because when I look at the people in the hall now, they were a huge influence on me. I could Wilcox, Watt, and Crave, or Canale, who's coming in this year, or Landry. They've all been been part of molding me. And a lot of it is just constructive criticism and encouragement at the same time. So it was always loud with praise, low with criticism, and it blended. And then they were always looking out for me. My parents loved working with them. They were always good at communicating, and they would always keep me on track. So I appreciate it. It was almost that's what's that statement? It takes a village. That's what Ludden did for me. So I was very appreciative of what they did. Muhammad Ali, don't count the days, make the days count. And I think that's so important. It's just, if you worry and look in the rearview mirror, you're gonna forget all the stuff in front of you. And he's so right about that. And I try to live by that. I know it's hard sometimes because you worry and second guess yourself, but I really feel like the good stuff is ahead of you.
We've got a nice theme going here. Our next inductee was an all CNYCL running back, all city twice. Scored 54 touchdowns in his career, including a 98-yard run. He's got you beat, Tom. You had the 80-yarder. We got a 98-yarder here. Over 3,000 yards rushing. And once coached the 2022 Syracuse Strong, one of the great stories in Central New York. This team year by year competes for semi-pro championships. He was a part of a national championship in 2022, a coach at Nottingham, and a member of the Urban Sports Hall of Fame, now a member of the Bishop Ludden Sports Hall of Fame from the class of 1984, Marty Clanton.
Marty Clanton. I went to Ludden 1981 to 84. The position I played was running back, and I also played cornerback. I was on kickoff and punt return. We didn't have a weight room until me and another student, John Gibson, and Coach Edie started bringing weights to the basement, and that's when we started, that's when I started lifting weights. The rivalry, yeah, Corcoran and Nottingham. Back then it was the city leagues. Now they didn't change it up so much, That was a high level of football right there. We played against great players from Nottingham, Henniger, Corcoran. We played a lot of good games from those guys. The first one when we beat Nottingham High School and when we beat Corcoran, because those are the kids that I would have been going to school with, and every day me and John Gibson would see these kids downtown going to school, taking the bus to school, and they would just talk about how they're gonna do this and how they're gonna do that to us. And those two teams right there, Corcoran and Nottingham. Our parents wanted better education for us, and they thought that going to one of the Catholic schools here, even CBA, but I wouldn't want to go to CBA. I didn't want to go to CBA. So I had a choice of going to Nottingham or Nottingham or Corcoran. And my mom said, nope, you're not going there, you're either going to CBA. And I was like, Mom, I don't want to go to CBA. Then we played football against Ludden. I was going to Roosevelt at junior high then, and I talked to one of the coaches over there, and he asked me and John, come and check out Ludden then. And I fell in love with Ludden, so it gave me a lot of discipline, seeing how other kids were. I'm from the city of Syracuse, right in the heart of the city, so it was pretty different from coming from the city to Ludden. Ludden just changed my whole experience. All the kids, all the players, the coaches, the staff, yeah, I remember this for the rest of my life. This was the best thing that ever happened to me. I wouldn't have been the athlete that I came to be if it wasn't for my mother. I mean, she put so much work. She dropped us off. She took me to places where I needed to go to work out. I couldn't be in here because I definitely didn't do it by myself. my linemen, the football team, everybody helped. So it wasn't just me. But it's nice to be there. Treat everybody the same. No matter what color, no matter what's wrong with them, the handicap, whatever, everybody's equal to me. I learned to treat everybody just like I want to be treated. Nobody's different from us. We're all the same.
I love that story that Marty told. Back in my day, we brought our own weights through 4 feet of snow, uphill both ways. I love that, though. That's great. Through this program, through the years of the Bishop Ludden Sports Hall of Fame building up, there are certain names that are synonymous with their sports at Bishop Ludden. And our next inductee is certainly that and then some. A first-team All-League, all 4 seasons, drafted by both the Cincinnati Reds and the Pittsburgh Pirates, where he played Major League Baseball. The 1992 Big East Pitcher of the Year at Seton Hall. When you think of baseball at Bishop Ludden, you think of this man from the class of 1988, Ted Clam.
Back my sophomore year, we had made the sectionals, and I started the first game, and we were playing VBS, the #1 seed. And I started out, I struggled a little bit early. I remember like the first couple innings, I wasn't loose, and I think they had scored a run off me early. And then I kind of hit my stride. I ended up pitching all 13 innings, 176 pitches that day, and we upset the #1 seed, VBS. That's been in my head forever. The life lessons that I think that I carry with me to this day are loyalty. I mean, we had such loyal teammates. We'd do anything for each other. And the coaches, I mean, the coaches weren't here for a year or two. You know, most of them were here, you know, lifers. The other thing is accountability. You know, we just had coaches that held all kids accountable. We had great athletes here in the 80s when I was here, and no one was treated differently than the other, and everyone was held accountable. I mean, in baseball, I remember, you know, that was my sport, and I was a really good pitcher, but, you know, you were held accountable. You did what everyone did, and you didn't get any special preference. So I would say the biggest life lessons is loyalty and accountability. Cherish it while you're here, because I still have a ton of friends to this day from when I was at Ludden, from both basketball and baseball teams. I still hang out with a lot of them, keep in touch with them. So cherish it while you're here. And the other thing, and I say this as a coach too, be that person that's the team player. Don't worry about yourself, because here at Ludden, it's about team. And don't put yourself in front of the team. It's that guy that can sacrifice and worry about what's best for the team, and not, you know, his success, but it's the team's success. My father, I remember, said to me once, you know, an athlete, man, you know, player should never be looked at his size, but rather the size of his heart. You know, because I always fought that stigma, you know, yeah, you're left-handed, but you're 5'8", you know, you're small, the prototypical guys that make it Division I or go on and pitch professionally, or, you know, 6'2", 6'4", and you look at players nowadays, they're all, you know, big in all sports. So that was, you know, me as an athlete, I went by that. The other thing I go by is I remember going to see my friend Tommy Dotter, that I look up to as a baseball coach. And I was just kind of frustrated at, all the attention some of these coaches were getting. And he said, you know what, Teddy, when you compare yourself to others, you become bitter. And when you compare yourself to yourself, you become better. And I kind of thought about that. I'm like, why am I worried about, getting attention, or why am I worried about these other coaches getting attention? Make yourself a better coach, and things will happen.
Boy, Marty, Ted said hold my beer on that old school story, huh? You brought your own weights to school? I threw 176 pitches. And then the next day I threw 10 with my other arm. Incredible. Go tell a baseball player that today. Somebody threw 176 pitches. Just watch their head go, what? Our next inductee won both the Bishop Cunningham and Harrison Award. She was the first female to top 1,000 career points at Bishop Ludden. First team All-League, second team All-State, a 3-time Section 3 champion, and a 3-time OHSL champion. From the class of 1994, Kristen Buell-Santos.
My name is Kristen Santos. I was Kristen Buell at Bishop Ludden. I graduated in 1994, and I went to Ludden from 7th grade all the way to 12th grade. So I did play soccer and track for a couple of years, but basketball was definitely my first love. I was so lucky to play for Bishop Ludden in the early 90s. My freshman year, we went to the Final Four in Glens Falls. And we went 23-2 that year. And Coach Rogers kept telling the team, remember this is a special team, this is a special season. And my sister was a senior on the team that year. And we still talk about the glory days, and we really cherish those years. We had great leaders. We had Sarah Stroman, Becky Taylor, and my sister Jennifer. They were the seniors. And then the juniors, I had Jenny Davitt and Aaron Byrne and Megan Flood, and I'm sure I'm missing somebody right now. But they were such leaders, and they were so kind to us, and they led by example. All good students, really played as a team, no selfish players. And then the years coming up behind me, I got to play with Karen Petrera. She was a couple years younger. So I was really fortunate because I was sandwiched between, great leadership and talent, ahead of me, and then also I played with some great players along the way, and then I had some strong talent coming up behind me too. Coach Rogers, he used to tell us that, we were athletes, that we weren't girls, we were athletes, and he was hard on us and he was tough, but it made us resilient. My sister Jennifer and Sarah Stroman and Becky Taylor, they all played together since 8th grade, and they just had this solid dream that we're going to be really good someday. They led by example, and we really bought into it. And Coach Rogers pushed us, and he challenged us. And I think I was lucky. It's an honor, and I'm sure there are plenty other people that deserve it more so than I do. But I'm very flattered, and I think my parents are really proud. There's just so many things you can learn from playing sports. But I think the number one thing is to have gratitude. Be thankful. And now that I'm a mom and my kids play sports, there was always somebody there to drive me. There was somebody always there to pay for things. There was somebody always there to sit in the stands and watch me. And I think I said thank you when I was a kid. I hope I did. And if I didn't, thank you, Mom and Dad, because they were always there for me and my siblings. And There's so much love at Bishop Ludden between the friends and family there. So just really be grateful and cherish the time. It goes by quickly.
Love, friends, family, and mentorship. I know our next inductee really looks up to Kristen. And while I love all of you equally, we have come to somebody from the mighty class of 1996, which I am a member of. And I am thrilled to read this to you. A 5-year varsity starter at soccer and basketball, a 4-time First League soccer star, a 3-year captain in basketball, 4-time First League honors, and the all-time leading scorer and assist leader in Bishop Ludden basketball history. And I left about 70% of that out. There's a lot not on the list. From the mighty class of 1996, Carm Petrera.
If you were to break it down to one particular moment, for me, it would be our West Canada game for sectionals. One at the buzzer, led to a sectional championship. I believe I was a sophomore that year. Probably the most excited that I had felt since I had been here as a student athlete. There's just so many moments and memories that we would create here. It was just a joy to be here. The life lessons that I walked away with was just the value of sacrifice. You don't really realize how much sacrifice your parents make to send you to a Catholic school. And Bishop Ludden actually taught me that, the respect that they teach you here and the importance of family. So it was definitely a valuable journey for me growing up and having them instill those lessons in me. Because I don't think I'd be the person I am today without it. What we do here is before practice, I center all my girls around the circle. And every practice, I lead with a quote. And sometimes I get a laugh, sometimes I get whoa. The best quote I think that I kind of live by and share with my team every season is from Pat Summit. Winning isn't the point, wanting to win is the point. Not giving up is the point. Never letting up is the point. Never being satisfied with what you've done is the point. I think for me that speaks volumes, especially as a coach. I think that's my favorite quote of all time. And I actually lead that, like with my girls every season. Winning is not the point, it's wanting to win. That's the point.
We knew back then that Carm was going to coach at Bishop Ludden. It was destiny. Well, we brought it up earlier. Carm, Ted, our next inductee is synonymous with lacrosse at Bishop Ludden as we present to you a special coaching award. He coached over 500 players that went on to play college lacrosse, 27 of which went on to be All-Americans, 15 league championship teams, 8 Coach of the Year awards, a member of the Upstate New York Lacrosse and West Genesee Hall of Fame, won the John R. Caro Coaches Awards, one of the most prestigious and highest standards you can get as a coach in Central New York sports. From the class of 1984, Chris Canale.
Well, I have to say practice every day was where I found the greatest amount of joy. We had a young program, a number of fellows that had very limited experience, and going out and spending the time watching the skills, the understanding of the game improve over the years was probably my greatest joy. I had young men who were dedicated, and parents who would give you their kids for 2.5 or 3 hours and were happy to let you do your thing and bring them back as hopefully a better young man. Probably the best choice I ever made was coming here and getting interviewed by Sister Stella Maris and being allowed to be a teacher and a coach, be a student athlete. The athletic field is just another classroom. It happens to be at the end of the day. And I believe that the same work ethic and preparation that one must do to be successful in the classroom transfers to the athletic field, and later on in life transfer to whatever career a person would have, regardless. One thing I learned over the years was to keep an even keel, not get overly emotional. The other thing is, I think that athletics is just a game. It's not life and death, although sometimes parents and coaches feel that way, but you know, it's a game and it should be enjoyed. Practice time, game time should be an enjoyable time. Do the little things right and the big things will take care of themselves.
Our next honoree played football, wrestling, and track at Bishop Ludden, but also taught at Bishop Ludden. History, physical education, business law, and was voted 3 times the favorite teacher at Bishop Ludden. He's now retired from a terrific career at UPS and New Process Gear. His 4 children have given him 8 grandchildren for he and his wife, Natalie, and a pleasure to welcome up Tom Landry.
Probably the most memorable games that I experienced when I was at Bishop Ludden was the first time we beat CBA was on a Sunday, and they gave us the next day off. Okay, which was, you know, because that's the first time we ever beat them. In 1975, I coached a freshman team, and we went down to Levy Junior High to play for a city championship. And we won 14-13. That was very memorable. And probably I used to coach wrestling also. We went to, you know, you make your calls to different coaches, you know, to get matches. And I called a dude from Cato Meridian. He goes, "Yeah, we're not too bad. We're okay." I said, "Okay, then that'll be a good match." I walk in and they're undefeated. They were undefeated last year, and I'm going, you know, what did I get myself into here? It came down to the last match, okay? And my heavyweight, Paul Lucas, okay, the kid from Cato Meridian was a monster. And all I told Paul was, just give me 100%. Give me the best you can do, all right? And he went out and he won. And we beat Caddo Meridian. That's the last time we played Caddo Meridian, though. I wasn't going to play with them again. But that was most memorable in my coaching career. I'll tell you, I've had a good life. The best times at Bishop Ludden. In order to be successful, you have to give 100%. As a teacher and a coach, I gave 100%. But I also demanded 100%. And the type of athlete and the type of students that I had, they were top caliber, they're the best you could ever have, okay? And they always gave me 100%, and it was appreciated. And it made my job easy, okay? I loved, coming to work, okay, because of the people I was associated with. Probably, the best thing is, be yourself and give 100%. Probably that's the two best things you could come away with from being at Bishop Ludden.
And we never played Caddo Meridian ever again. I loved it. What we have found here as a part of the Bishop Ludden community in athletics and everything is that baton gets passed from one generation to the next. We honored Carm, we honored Kristen, and they'd be the first two to tell you that they could not do what they did at Bishop Ludden without this team. They went 17-0 in just their third year of existence. CNYCL Section 3 champions that started a 30-game winning streak that lasted into the next season in 1975-1976. Captain Gene Belstra, Joan Jett Thornton, Mary Kate Flaherty, Ann Hennigan, Mary Montgomery, represented by Martha O'Leary, Gail Sandusky, Nancy Hackett, Martina Mogish, Ann Percival, Mary Spieth, Eileen Burns, Judy DeLucia-Smith, Bernadette Palermo, Karen Periano, head coach James Ann Dunn, the 1974-75 girls basketball team.
My name is Jean Balestra, and I'm a 1975 graduate of Bishop Ludden. The team that was undefeated in 1974-1975 was the girls basketball team. And that particular year, we went 17-0, and I was one of the two co-captains of that team, and therefore I have the honor of talking with all of you today. The unique thing about that championship team was you had the starting five, and they pretty much knew where each player would be on the court, and without even talking, just by eye contact, we knew what to expect. But the beauty of that team was that everyone contributed. There were 14 members on that team, and I can still see in my memory, you could bring in Bernie Kissel or Ann Percival, Nancy Hackett, Mary Speth, and they would play phenomenal defense. And if the starter went out or the starters went out for a couple minutes, they would come in and they would be awesome. And then underneath the boards, you would have folks like Judy DeLucia, Gail Sandusky, Karen Brino, Eileen Burns, Ann Hennigan, and you'd say to them, we need rebounds. And they would get those rebounds for you. And whether you played 4 minutes or you played 4 quarters, everyone contributed and pulled their weight. And there was no drama on that team. People enjoyed each other's company, and nobody needed to be a superstar. Everybody just wanted to play for each other. And I think they were the true definition of what a team is. The coach of the team was Sister James Ann, and that was a novelty for us also, because to my recollection, we were the only team that had a nun as a coach. That 2-year period was truly a year of Bishop Ludden girls basketball dominance. I would like to say on behalf of all of my teammates, this is a huge honor, and we are most grateful for Bishop Ludden honoring us in this way. And we hope that our accomplishment in some small way can help other young girls work hard to accomplish even more than what that team did. And I'd like to say, on behalf of all of my teammates, thank you for this honor and for recognizing the team and our accomplishments.
And we'd like to welcome up any players, coaches, or anybody representing players and coaches from the 74-75 champions to come up and take a picture. We'll make some room for you up here. Congratulations, ladies. What a legacy. Well, we're just about to the end of our program, ladies and gentlemen, but before we do close up, I was having a conversation with this guy before we started, and I said, when are you going to retire, man? Go relax, enjoy yourself. He's like, well, I take it year by year. And I'm like, do you just sound like an athlete, right? We know him simply as Mr. P. Come on up, sir.
When Kathy Gilhenny asked me, to speak tonight, she said, you have to keep it under 5 minutes. And I said, I don't know if I can do that. Takes me 5 minutes just to say hello, but I'll do my best. So start the watch. When I talk to the kids at Bishop Ludden, I often speak of the spirits in the rafters, that the hallways of Bishop Ludden are alive with the spirits of those who have been here before us, spirits who live among the lights on the stage, the goalposts of the athletic fields, and in the nooks and crannies of the locker room and in the chapel. The spirits of those who help guide you to places or to do things you never thought possible. Now, Mrs. P and I have had the good fortune to walk through the halls of Bishop Ludden for the past 44 years. And we can tell you that although many things have changed, what is important has remained the same. The kids feel as you did when you walked through the hallways. The excitement is the same. The dream is the same. The vision is the same. The spirits are the same, only they're better. You are now a part of those spirits, a part of the inspiration for current Ludden students. So I implore you today to return to Bishop Ludden. Come to a game, a show, a mass, a Ludden Day, or just come and take a tour. Come and see all the wonderful and exciting things that we're doing. And if I might, I'd like to address the elephant in the room very briefly. And I'm sure many of you have read the newspapers and heard the accusations that are flying and the things that are going on in the diocese. And that in today's world of Bishop Ludden and indeed Catholic education in the diocese is under duress. But we will overcome the obstacles that God has challenged us with in the same way we have for the past 60 years together. Because just as you consider Bishop Ludden to be part of your family, so too do the students, administration, staff, and faculty of today. So please consider that what is really important is to assure that Bishop Ludden is available to offer its outstanding opportunities and unique experience to the next generations. And Kathy asked me to mention, please consider making a donation to the comprehensive campaign that goes directly to student scholarships and student aid. Because if we don't have students in the building, none of this can happen. This will help make it possible for current and future Bishop Ludden students to become an inspiration for someone else and make it possible for them to join you as spirits in the rafters. Congratulations on your selection to the Bishop Ludden Athletic Hall of Fame. Thank you for all you have already done for Bishop Ludden and for all you will do for us in the future.
Thank you, Mr. P. And I'd like to recognize Mrs. P. They're the staple of Bishop Ludden, 44 years, and it's just, they've been awesome. And I had them as teachers, and you know, they don't miss a beat, so thank you. In closing, a couple things, okay? First of all, congratulations to Claire Ruddy. Congratulations to Bill Camartin. Congratulations on our inductees and our team, girls basketball team from 74-75, coaches and the athletes. So thank you. Well-deserved. Cherish these moments. Now, there's a lot of conversations about who should be in the Hall of Fame, okay? And please be patient. This is our third class, okay? So if you would like to nominate somebody, please go to our website and nominate, okay? There's no list already. There's, you know, we'd like to hear from everybody. And if you feel somebody should be part of it, please nominate, okay? I know some people like to call and leave a voicemail or send an email. Please nominate and become part of it and have a say, all right? Also, in the end here, please continue to believe in Bishop Ludden. Please continue to believe in Bishop Ludden, okay? I'm a graduate here, and if I didn't believe in this place, I wouldn't be working here. It's a special place with a lot of special people and a lot of special things to offer. So all of you have helped shape Bishop Ludden, and it's my hope you continue to do so. Thank you so much, and enjoy tonight and the rest of the summer. Thank you. If you would like pictures